Very nice.
Lovely.
Well, I'm
Big
excited to talk to you. So
in here.
cool. Well, first off, here at Bionic Buzz, we are all about people's passion. Where did your passion for filmmaking, storytelling kind of come from? Because you're an amazing actor and producer. Was a certain movie inspired it, a certain performance, or something that was just naturally for you as a child?
As a child, I used to watch 2, 3 movies. I would go with my younger brother. We'd go to the theater and be there the whole day. My mom would let us go and be because in Mexico you had triple feature at the time.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah, not just double feature, triple feature. So you pay $1 or two, whatever, and then you'd be there all day, just watching movies.
That's
I
cool.
always, yeah, yeah, I
Did they try
always.
to block certain movies together with like a cartoon or anything or like in
There,
between or how did
there
it
was a
work?
mixture of. I love comedy. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course, I like action. Yeah, so in anything. At the time, I was watching a lot of Spanish or Mexican movies when I
Mhm.
was younger, when I was a kid, and then over the years, I started watching, you know, whatever would come to Mexico because it
Yeah.
wasn't as open now that you can stream or do whatever. But yeah,
It's kind of a fun age that there's so much content for us to get access to now in this day and age, especially with since we're kind of in lockdown. A lot of us are at home, so it's
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's crazy. I um, I remember when I was 17, I was into martial arts, and I could not see Enter the Dragon in the theaters because this was a rerun.
yeah.
By the time I was 17, so they had it in Mexico, and they wouldn't let me in because I was not 18. They
That's
were
strict, huh?
they
Wow.
were that strict, yeah.
Yeah.
And now any kid can watch Enter the Dragon. They can
Yeah,
watch any
online.
adult anything. Just go online. It's just crazy how things have changed. You know, I had to pretend that I was 18 when I was 17, and one of the guys didn't let me in, so I came back like an hour later. I saw half the movie, and I stayed there for the other half.
Yeah, we all had ways of sneaking in theaters back in the day.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Well,
So
I'm
that's how.
excited to talk to you because I really love VR and graphic novels and comic books. And you have a project that you're part of called Here. It's based on Richard McGuire's groundbreaking
Oh,
graphic
here,
novel.
here, here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, here was an amazing project I did a few months ago. Um, what we did is, I don't know if you're familiar with the Intel Studios, that they have a big screen. It's a 360-degree screen, so it's all green. They have over 100 cameras.
Wow.
This is crazy. If you go online and just put Intel, you'll see some of the videos. It's just unbelievable. So that's what made this project very, very exciting, because we did the novel, which is here,
Mhm.
and that is based on different situations in the life of different people in the same place. But when he talks about the same place, it could be 10,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 100 years ago. So I played different characters.
Wow.
I played somebody from the Civil War, from the 50s, the 60s. They colored my hair completely black. They looked like one of those mafiosos from the 50s, 60s. Great project. I mean, it's more like a really, really fun project that people are gonna love to see on a 360. Are you familiar with the 360 visuals in some of these movies?
Yeah, it's like a almost like a dome theater, right? Is that correct or?
Yeah, but what happens is when you're watching the movie, if you watch one of the trailers from Intel,
Uh-huh.
you're watching like somebody running, getting on a horse. You can see the camera. It's almost like the camera goes like that, so you see all the angles at, on the screen, every single angle of the person jumping onto the horse. It's just unbelievable.
I love that.
So that was that. This is going to be shown in museums and in some theaters. It's a very artistic presentation, a project. It's not like a big movie, that you'll see in theaters, but it's going to be there for years as something very unique with the
Yeah, I
360.
think you probably need a unique screen to be able to probably show this too. So that's why.
No, no. Well, if you go online on the internet and you see Intel, that the
Okay.
video that I'm telling you about, you can watch it on your screen. But then
Oh,
again, you
okay.
see you see all that movement. of the camera. It looks gorgeous. It looks amazing. I haven't seen it, my project itself. I have seen the projects that they have done in the past from Intel. And they were gonna show it a few months ago because of COVID, it stopped. And I think it premiered in Italy at a festival. You know, again, it's a very artistic piece
Something
of.
that I would probably really love, honestly, the way you keep
Yeah.
describing and talking about it.
It's just amazing. It looks like a little project, but I think it's an amazing creative project. The director was great. All of us, it's a bunch of us. We're doing different characters. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
That's exciting.
So that was that. So that was
Yeah,
here.
do you have another, was it entitled, I guess you're producing?
Yeah, a friend of mine did that movie, and she asked me to help her be the executive producer. So I helped her out with that, and it looks pretty good. She's a really good actress. It's a short, so I did that. So, it's interesting because I like helping other directors or actors that want to get a little project. I have this is a building. This is my building. I have a facility here with different businesses because I'm a businessman. So I have where we are right now is I have a clinic here. I have a banquet hall upstairs for weddings and events. But the clinic I've lent it to a couple of directors so they can do their shows. You know, uh,
That's amazing.
about,
It's so hard to get, especially as an independent director and filmmaker. It's so hard to get a
right.
good location for,
Yeah, and yeah, like this guy wanted to do something where he had a medical facility, and I said, well, let's see if it works. He came, looked at it, and was like, oh, that would be perfect, Alex. So use it. I mean, I don't charge him. If they're friends, if there's somebody that I feel like like they're doing it for the art, I'm not gonna charge him. I know how hard and how expensive it is to rent a studio or to rent a specific
Oh,
place.
absolutely. Yeah.
So I like doing that.
That's very
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. Supporting the art. Yeah.
Yeah. Before that, you've probably seen the Contractor. That was. I don't want to say that it was my biggest project, but it was in a way because a friend of mine who's a director, he directed me in other movies, had a script. He asked me if I was interested in producing. He knew that I wanted to produce a film, and I said, well, let me read the script. I read it. I liked it a lot, and I said, let's do it. So I think we started pre-production. We were talking about this in April, May. By August, we were shooting. Got some celebrities from Mexico City. We got some really good actors from here, from LA, well known as well, but not as well known as the Mexican actors. And we went to Mexico and shot it for 30 days.
Oh, wow.
Amazing experience because I became an actor in my 30s. I've been in business for many, many years since I was very young. So finally, when I was in my 30s, I started acting, which is weird. Started doing a bunch of commercials and this and that. So for me to do this in my 50s, the production and work really, really hard to put everything together was a great experience. I was not going to be the lead in this movie. The writer, director, he wanted me to play the lead, but I said, look, Jojo Henriksen, that's his name. I'm too busy. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, this project, I'm too busy for that. And he said, well, I think you would be great for that. So we talked some more, and he wanted me to get a director that was very well known. And at the end of the day, I said, look, I'll be in the movie playing the lead character only if you direct. So he had done a few other movies, and I was in it. And I had a TV show called Operación Rescate, which means Rescue 911 type. And he was also the DP and the director in some of the episodes. In another movie, GB 2525, I also was in that with him as a director. So I knew he could do it, and he wrote it. I mean, if you wrote it and you directed, I put all my faith in. I knew he could do it, and he did an amazing job. He's
Nice.
great.
Can you
Yeah.
tell us about the movie? It looks pretty awesome. I'm looking on the poster right now. I mean, it looks like it's like an action movie. Did you do some like stunts in it and stuff, or do?
Yeah, yeah. It was initially when he showed it to me, it was a lot of action, a lot of action.
Mhm.
But of course, this is a low budget film. I'm
Yeah.
paying for it all by myself.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's why I'm the executive director, producer. But I put all, the money in it, which is a big risk. But I still wanted to do
Hey,
it. I don't know, you know.
well, it goes
And
back to your passion. For you're passionate for this. Why not? So.
yeah, I had in 2008 and nine, I was ready to produce a movie, and then we got hit with the real estate market drop that we had. So it took this long to find another project because I'm busy doing other things.
Yeah.
So yeah, the movie was it had a lot of action, so we had to cut a lot because of the budget. Otherwise, it would have been millions and millions of dollars in action. But what we did is he made it a very rich, more of a character-driven movie. It's about this this military guy, which is me. He's
Mhm.
now working, special ops, protecting CIA groups, and it gets to a point where he's seeing how they're torturing civilians, and he says, that's enough, guys. He doesn't know anything. So that creates problems with those people. There's a fight. You know, that's when I do my stunts as a fighter. So we have a couple of really nice scenes fighting. And then I said, I'm done with this. I'm out of here. This is in Iraq. I'm out of here. I'm going to open my own security company and just go help whoever needs help. And then this little boy in Mexico, his family gets killed. We don't know by whom. The typical is to think cartel, is the normal. But was it a competitor? He was a big mogul, media mogul. So he and his family, so he gets killed. So the little boy now needs protection. We don't know if they want to. And that's where the tutor hires me. So here we come to Mexico and we take care of things as much as we can, but it's complicated. It's more
Oh, I
complicated.
bet. Yeah.
And so that's one of the things is that my character is a little disillusioned about him being a patriot, even though he's Mexican, but he's still Mexican American, and how he feels like the government sometimes they do things with a different intention. So that's why he gets fed up. He's like, I've done this. I don't want to keep hurting people for no reason.
Mhm.
So there's a little bit of a message there. The other message is that once the family dies, the little boy's family, and he's always playing video games. Always. He's playing
Kinda like my
violent,
son.
like all of our sons. He's
Yeah.
playing war games, violent, and then he starts losing a sense of reality. So it gets to a point where on one occasion when we take him to school, our group, my team and I take him to school, and we have to shoot some people that want to hurt him. He finally comes out of because he's been sort of like down and depressed and catatonic.
Mhm.
Only when he's playing video games he's alive. And then he sees all this action, and that's when he finally wakes up. He's like, "Yeah, you guys are killing the bad guys and this and that." And even one of the cooks, the lady cook, says, "You shouldn't be happy, for for them killing people." And the little boy says, "But Maria, they're not people.
Oh.
These are the guys who killed my parents. They're not people." So it's so interesting to see the transition of this little boy's
Wow.
reality compared to the video games.
Yeah.
And we've all seen it with our kids. I'm sure you know
Oh yeah.
that they're always playing. I don't want to name names, but a lot of war video games. Always, always. It's like, okay, how how much is enough? Is it okay? 30 minutes, an hour? Some kids play 5 hours. It's like, oh, we as parents have to be able to measure that, figure out what's right and what's wrong.
Mhm.
But it's not like he wrote all those things,
Mhm.
to as the moral of the story. But he just presents it there, and then you take it the way you take it. And so then it became more of an action film. but it's a very, very deep film. It has a, I don't know if you've seen it, but the ending is very, very unusual. You've never seen an ending like that. It's completely different than any ending, I think. And I've watched a lot of movies, so I don't think there's anything like that.
No, I haven't seen it yet. Is it available yet, or is it like on a streaming service or anywhere?
It's on if where are you? What city are you located?
I'm in Orlando, Florida. So.
Florida, yeah. It's on Spectrum here. I don't know if you guys have.
Oh yeah, I
Spectrum.
have Spectrum. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe you can look it up there. That's the better version because it's in Spanish with subtitles.
Nice.
Something happened with my distribution company that they dubbed it, and then they now it's on Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime. The issue that I have with that is that they dubbed it in the movie. You can only see it in English. You cannot see the original Spanish. And I'm not complaining. I'm happy that it's on Amazon. But we're trying to work that. I'm trying to work that out and say, guys, this movie.
Yeah, it's got to be two different versions of it.
Yeah, this movie's with Mexicans and it's in Mexico, and you lose a lot when you dub a movie.
Oh yeah.
So hopefully Amazon will change that soon. Maybe after they see your show, they'll be like,
yeah, hopefully, hey Amazon, why not two versions?
Yeah, but I knew that Spectrum had it in English, in Spanish. Charter and Spectrum, they had it in Spanish, and I recommend that you see it in Spanish. It's very unique. It's very unique. It's a low budget film. I'm not gonna say, oh, it's this amazing explosions and this. No, but the characters are very rich, and it touches you. It touches you with a little boy. It's almost like one of those thrillers that you don't know who did it, because the boy is so rich that he has a female cook, a male butler, he has a nanny. They have everything. So we're trying to figure out if one of those guys is involved with whoever killed the family.
Oh, that's cool.
It's
kind of
like
an action thriller, crime type.
Done it, yeah. So one of those.
That's awesome.
So and that's Jojo who directed it, and yeah, the movie. Yeah, the movie initially was gonna be kind of like comedic, like the A-Team, but then once we started shooting certain scenes, there were a couple of things that I guess the director Jojo made it a little darker, a little more. I don't want to say real, because real could be. It doesn't have to be good, real. Yeah. But a little, yeah, darker, less clownish. We had a couple of really good scenes that they were a lot of fun, but they had to be cut because they didn't go with the tone anymore. It was a more serious tone.
Gotcha. I think the serious tone fits for this type of story you're describing. So
yeah, and even though they talk about cartels, the movie is not about cartels necessarily. I mean, it's because people are telling me, oh, there's so many cartel movies now, with all the narcos and this and I tell them, no, this is more about all the investigations. Is this guy who and then of course we get attacked and we have to defend ourselves. So, here comes the action, and there's some comedy. It's
very cool. Is there anything else you're working on you're allowed to talk about before I let you go? We went through a bunch of your projects.
Well, I have a movie that I wrote with my son. It's called The Mexican Connection. Again, it's another one of these. It's basically Mexican officers, or a group of an elite group that's non-corrupt in Mexico, joins forces with DEA to bring down not the cartels necessarily, but the politicians or the rich people who are helping some of these. We don't call them cartels, organized crime, and that's in both countries, Mexico and the United States. So they join forces to combat these people. Unfortunately, there are malls on either side, and the way I see it with this movie, it's a movie where your nationality does not determine the morality of your character. So whether you're African American, Asian, Mexican, white, whatever, has nothing to do with the morality of the person. You're going to be corrupt in any nationality, and that's something that that I would like to do more of. Where yeah, we play bad guys a lot, and that's fine. That's it's awesome to be playing bad guys. But they're also I like the idea of having Mexican and Americans to play people who are honest and believe in what they're doing and their cause, and and
Yeah,
that they're not
absolutely.
corruptible. So I like that. And this one has a lot of action, and I'm in it, obviously. And there's a lot more fighting scenes, a lot more fighting scenes.
Good.
But so that's that. And we're in the. I need to get some people to help me produce it because financially, because I can't. I don't want to do it by myself. The budget's bigger.
I should.
But I just came back from Toronto. I don't know. I just did. It's not on my IMDb yet. I did a movie called The Man from Toronto,
Nice.
and the movie is with Kevin Hart. I don't know if you
Oh,
know him,
oh yeah, I've interviewed him before. It was great.
and Woody Harrelson. I don't know if you know him,
Wow, yeah, Woody.
and, and Ellen Barkin. You
Wow.
know, and there's a lot of really good people. Lila Lauren. There's so many really good actors. As the leads.
Mhm.
And I was fortunate enough to book that part of. I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. I play a Venezuelan colonel. I can't tell you much, but what I can tell you is between Woody Harrelson and Kevin Hart, which the movie is about them.
Mhm.
All of us are bad people or good people or whatever. It's between them. It's that one of them is supposed to be the world's deadliest assassin, and the other one is the biggest screw up.
I can only wonder.
You can imagine who's who, right?
That's
So
cool. Yeah, that's a
they
great cast.
they get confused. There was Kevin Hart goes to an Airbnb, and they get people confuse him for the man from Toronto. So you can imagine. So it's like it was great working with these guys.
Oh, I bet.
Woody, they're so professional. Kevin, all of them. Ellen. Uh, I mean, Kevin is this things like this. I can say Kevin is saying his lines, and Ellen Barking is trying to keep a straight face, and then she finally cracks up. And she's like, I'm sorry," and Kevin starts laughing. He says like, "No, that's awesome." He says, I'm honored that you are laughing, that you couldn't hold it. So it was an amazing experience to do that. The man from Toronto.
Man for
They
Toronto.
treated
Okay, I'll
me
keep an
very
eye out for that
nicely.
and look
I'm
for the
sorry.
contract. I'll keep an eye out for that and the contractor on
Yes.
Spectrum and Amazon Prime. And is there a website or social media wise we can stay up to date with you and all your adventures you got going on?
Yeah, I just have Instagram. It's Alejandro De Hoy instead of De Hoyos, which is my last name, but that's all they had. I guess they ran out of. So Alejandro De Hoy at Instagram, and that's basically what I do. People laugh when I say I'm not into being famous. And I really am not. I'm busy. I'm doing my things, but I love acting.
Yeah.
So opportunities like the one that just presented with the man from Toronto, I welcome them. It's awesome. That will bring me more opportunities. You know, but just because I really really love acting, and maybe because I started late in my life.
Well, I think that's inspiring. I mean, that's why I asked the passion question because not everyone started it as a child and worked their way up. Some got into it later in life. And I hope
Yeah.
other people watching this, they're thought about getting into acting, but it's like, oh, I'm too old. You can, and look what you've done.
Yeah. Well, I started in my 30s, but doing commercials, I've done I say over 200, but I think it's like 224 commercials. And that has been steady over time. But the acting really, even though I did some things before, TV shows and this and that, after I did a Contratista, that's when I really started taking it more seriously. That's when I never had a theatrical or a movie agent. A lot of people don't know what theatrical, a movie or TV agent. I just had a commercial agent for 20 years. So now that I have an agent, I'm booking a lot more. Even with the pandemic, I'm still doing commercials, but now I'm doing other projects here, there. Well, the show here, the movie, my other movie that I'm working on.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm inspired that that now that my companies are sort of grown and now I have a really amazing team to help me, my kids are also grown. They're the youngest is 18, to 25, 27. So now they're independent. Before it was a little more of a concern,
Yeah, I
free.
understand.
I mean, I still have to tell them what to do, things like that,
Yeah. Yeah.
whether they like it or not. How old is your kid? Or do you have
I
one?
have a son who's 4 and a daughter that's 7. So yeah, that's
Oh,
it.
wow. So she's the boss of the house.
Yes.
I bet. That's
Definitely.
awesome.
Kids
That's
are,
awesome.
I love them though. So they're my world.
I bet. I bet. It's like, yeah, you got to enjoy them because I talk about that all the time. It's like, where are those kids? They become people, they become adults. And those kids, you just see them, you look at pictures and you're like, oh, wow, that was so and so when he
I
was
was
6.
thinking about that the other day. I was like, my son was like a baby not too long ago. I felt like holding him, and now he's, like,
Right?
where did it happen? Because he just turned 4 like a couple of weeks ago. So
Yeah, he's still little.
yeah,
Yeah, and the thing is, time goes so fast, man. It just goes so. You really have to. People used to tell me that you better enjoy your kids, and I did enjoy him, but it did go faster than I anticipated.
hmm
Time just goes like because you're so busy with them.
absolutely, yeah. So,
So
well,
so
thank you
anyway, so
so
enjoy
much,
your
man.
kid.
Talking to you, it was amazing how you painted this whole picture of being on set and what you do for the arts and letting people out access to your ability and stuff. So keep up the amazing work, and we'll look forward to new talking down the road of future projects. All right.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll be in touch. Thank you so
All right,
much, and
man.
thanks to
You
your
take care.
audience.